Okay, so here's my honing video I promised you guys. Got gonna do a little touch up here on Dave's Wolstenholme original pipe razor here. It's in really good shape, so should just need a touch up. I'll test it. I'll show you how I test it. A little bit about the items I have here. I use electrical tape on the spine of all my razors, so I'm going to do that for his as well. Got a thing of water here. This is my Dan's translucent Arkansas stone, which haven't decided on whether or not I'm going to use that or not. Probably going to use this versus this is my Gokumyo 20K synthetic stone. Here is the Gokumyo prep stone or cleaning stone that they send with this home. But as you're going to see the further I go on, this is a very useful piece of kit. I've come to use it for basically making this stone or this stone a one hone stone setup for even things that are just more than a touch up, that you would want to add a little bit of speed to either one of these to get a razor that's a little bit past just a plain touch up and establish an edge with a short amount of time and gently as well. You're not taking off a whole lot of steel, and it works very well. Has been for the last, been doing that for probably the last 2 years. And then if you've been following my thread and all, I also have my unconventional honing method that I use. A lot of people might end up freaking out or poo-pooing it and all, but there's also another method that I use. This here is a Smith's hone, or and all that a lot of people use just for kitchen knives. But as you can see, I think you can see there, it has a coarse and a fine, and I've got a method which unfortunately I'm not willing to show people right now because it could be, you know, a little bit past what they're able to handle. And so I'm not going to be showing you how I use this one. But if you doubt me here, I've gotten a lot of good reviews on razors that I've honed with this, and I got just 2 of them here. I'll read them to you. You know, so here it goes. It says, hey man, just got my razor back from you. After reading your posts online with you talking about how good you were at honing, I trusted you would do a good job. All I can say is wow. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. I have never seen an edge like this. Unbelievable. I will never, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. That's how he wrote it. That's not how I type things, but this guy did. I will never, 3 exclamation points, need you to sharpen this razor again. That's from Carl in Walla Walla, Michigan. That's from him. I just wrote it down here because I didn't want to be looking on the computer and talking to you guys. Just one more here. Now this guy, so he's basically saying he doesn't think I got it so sharp with this, with my special method, that he is never going to need to have it sharpened again because it's that sharp. And so now this guy says, just got back my favorite razor from you. Words can't describe what I saw when I opened it up. My mind is blown away. So this guy, he just couldn't comprehend, and he was blown away by how great the edge was. So, I mean, you can doubt me all you want, but these guys here are happy. So, and he says, my mind is blown away. How can you ever call that honing? So, my interpretation of that is he doesn't even have words to describe how great and sharp the edge was it needs a new word to describe it, because it's better than normally like using something like this or like this. It's above and beyond that. And he had more on there. He says, I'm going to tell all my friends about you so that they know what you did. Goodbye. And now these guys met, maybe they're friends, I don't know each other, but he had 3 exclamation points at the end of that. Goodbye, meaning, I guess goodbye. That's like just an awesome way of saying goodbye, whatever. That was Rodney from Schenectady, New York. I have others that I've done for guys with this, and I'm very happy with the results. But I'm not going to do that on Dave's razor, this one here. Maybe on one of the other ones I might do that, but I'm not going to do a video of that one because kind of keeping that one to myself for a while here. So here we go on a regular honing and all, like old school, whatever you want to call it. So I'll get a little bit of tape here for him. And all. So like I was saying earlier, I don't know if you guys took the time to watch my shaving video. It seems like a lot of you guys are double edge shavers and all, so you might not even be interested in this. But for you guys that use the straight razors and all, a lot of you probably already hone your own and all. Dave decided not to, and he sent them up to me to see what kind of edge I could put on for him, so he could go ahead and use them some and all. So this is how I test to see just where the edge is at. As you can see, I'm part Sasquatch, so I got plenty of hair. So this isn't tree topping anything. So let's see if it's cutting hair at skin level and all. So it's doing a little hair cutting at skin level, so it's dull. It's not shave ready by what I would call shave ready from that, because I should be able to be tree topping hair. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my my Rub and Stone slurry and all. So as you can see, I got this marked. It's got a 3K side and a 1K side according to GoCumyo, but the stria that it leaves when you use a lute to look at what stria it leaves, it's not as harsh as 1K and 3K. This is almost has like a chalk-like consistency to it. You can feel the grittiness on the hone, but it's not like you're taking a 1,000 grit piece of sandpaper. You know how much that almost feels like you're dragging it on concrete almost. This is more along the lines of you feel it doing it, but it's really smooth. And it's a theory I guess on it is the particles on this aren't so hard as to be like aluminum oxide or anything like that. It's more along the lines of it's breaking down as you're using it, but it's speeding up the ability. You're not just rubbing it on this burnished Arkansas stone and then not really removing any metal at all, just burnishing it. You're actually removing a little bit of metal, but gently and all. So a little bit of water on there, and then I just do a little rubbing, and you just make a little slurry on there with this. Doesn't take much. Set that aside. So now I'm going to do some circles on this on both sides. I don't know whether you can hear it. You can hear it. It's got a little bit of a sound to it, but it's not a So, I mean, some people say this is tedious or they don't like it. frustrating to them or whatever, but I kind of enjoyed it. This is my own little system. So and I don't know whether you can see on this. You should be able to. It's darkening the slurry a little bit. So that's telling you are removing a little bit of steel, and it's mixing with the water and the slurry. And now I'm gonna dilute the slurry a little bit, add a little bit of water. I'm kind of going by feel and by sound. Now it almost doesn't have any of that. The sound of the grit, it's more subdued. Okay, so now dry it off on my pants here and see. So that's already a little better. We're going to do a little bit more work with the blue 1K. I try to get it to where it's starting to treetop the hair on my arm, just off the surface of my skin. If it's doing that at this level, then at this grit, then I clean everything off and go up to the 3K grit and do a similar amount of strokes to take it up to that next grit level. So even though it's one stone, with that Nagura cleaning stone, whatever you want to call it, it's essentially like having a different grit stone, because you're adding that grit to the top of it. So you can see that water, it's got a little bit gray kind of look to it. I wish I had a setup to where you could had like one of the microscope kind of setups where you could see the thing, because in reality the stria is not real big scratches. It's actually turns out smaller looking than if you was to use, like I said, like 1000 grit sandpaper would definitely be. So a little bit more. I don't know. You guys are going to have to tell me if you're bored to death when you watch this or not, because it takes a little bit of time and I'm never in a rush when I do this. So maybe I'll edit this, or you'll end up doing some fast forwarding through here or something. I don't know. Because it's pretty repetitious and it's pretty straightforward. I wish I could show you using this, but I'm just kind of protective of that system, and not ready to really commit it to a video yet. So probably what I'm going to do for Dave is, I'm probably going to do, he sent me 4, so I'm probably going to do one here, this one on the Arkansas, and then 1 or 2, probably 2 of them on the Gacumyo here, and then that one real pretty Bocker with spine work and all, I'm gonna give the VIP treatment to. So, and then I'll send them down to him, and he can let me know in the future, you know, which edge he preferred, if he had a preference, and then I can just go off of that for future honing references. And I've found a lot of times I end up preferring the edges off of the Arkansas here. They're not as sharp as the Gacumyo and all, although the Gacumyo, that's very good, but the Arkansas edge for me, and some of it could be a placebo effect maybe, the Gacumyo edge seems to be a little, almost too sharp, more exfoliating, and if you're not careful with pressure and angles and all that stuff, it's a little less forgiving, whereas the Arkansas edge is so I'm getting it to catch a little bit here, tree topping. So what I'm probably going to do is, now I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the blue side of this Nagura kind of cleaning stone, and go to the beige or white side, which is supposed to be 3K. So wash all that off. And then go to this side. So that has kind of almost a yellowish kind of look to it, creamy kind of yellow, pastel kind of color. And you can immediately tell on this, you can feel it, but it's of course much more muted, less aggressive than the blue, because it's finer particles to begin with. So, and I've even looked online, because I thought, well, what if I use up this little Nagura stone? Gacumyo sells, this is just a little piece of an entire two-sided hone that they have. That's what that is. It's just a really soft synthetic hone that you use for like sharpening kitchen knives and things like that. If you were to be honing on a, say, 3x8, like that comes, like this here comes originally in like a 3x8 hone, you would do that kind of stuff on it. I think it would probably dish out really quick. You'd have to constantly be lapping it flat, because it almost feels like a chalky kind of consistency, and it doesn't require a whole lot of work or pressure, as you can see, to get it to slurry onto the Arkansas stone here or onto the Vecumio that it came with. So, but for this purpose, it works really well, and I'm really happy with the results. And of course, Dave would be the final judge because these are his razors, and he'll let me know what he thinks of the end result of my efforts here. So let's see. We'll dry it off here. Let's see what it's doing now. So I think the heel needs a little bit more work. So the toe's feeling pretty good, but the heel feels like it's lagging behind a little bit here. Need a little bit more time on that. Do a little time check here. Geez, we're up to 21 minutes. Well, repetition, lather, rinse and repeat kind of thing here. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video, and then I'll finish up with a honing video end with end results, and then I'll just give you a report on how much more time I spent getting this little Woostie ready to go for Dave. All right.